Good evening, and welcome to yet another episode of I Hate Her on the Radio. I'm your host, Jackie VENOM GOCHETT, and my cast starting with the outspoken New Yorker, Miss V. And of course, our intern / producer, Tosh 3.5, who graduated today from Benedict, BCBC, you know. Shout out to her. And also, holding down the male point of view, we have comedian Real Talk. For those who went into culture shock last week, when the show launched, I Hate Her on the Radio was talk that you not only want to hear, but need to know. We guaranteed to entertain, uplift, and offend all at the same damn time. So let's start off with the check-in and make sure you're logged on to IHateHerOnline.com for all your latest news, gossip, and entertainment.
You are now listening to I Hate Her on the Radio with Jackie VENOM GOCHETT. The views, opinions, and sometimes extreme attitudes of the cast does not reflect the opinions of YMF Media SC LLC. So be scared. Very, very scared.
All right, keeping it going with the check-in. All my hip-hop fans, hold your heart. Naughty by Nature has officially broken up.
Oh,
Officially over Twitter.
Over Twitter, nice.
Yeah, they was tweeting. For those who don't know, Naughty by Nature has been performing as a unit for 25 years. Their first major hit was in 1991. You down with OPP?
Yeah, you know me.
All right, no doubt. A group
now do the second hit. Silence.
Hip hop.
Hooray!
Oh,
See what I'm saying? It's
There we
there.
go.
It's there.
Right.
But that's about it. So what happened was Tretch got on Twitter and said, Vinny from Naughty by Nature is officially fired. Anything he does besides shows till September is fugazi. You know, he got to secure the money that they already got deposits.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Bump him and the ground he walks on. And then he went on to say, anybody that messes with that B, don't mess with me. And that's edited because those are hip-hop words. Then Vinny fired back with a very simple statement. I'm waking to drama, spoke to my publicist, silence is golden. In the meantime, business 101, you can't fire the owner.
wow.
Now, thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, first of all, where is the relevance anywhere? What checks are there to be divided? Like, where is the the great divide of the money?
I'm thinking Hip Hop Parade probably gets some kind of royalties. Because that's something you might have heard. They never been in a commercial or anything? No.
Never heard that one on the commercial.
No, they're pretty much going and doing old school shows of rappers, and
Okay.
and that's where they are. I'm sorry, Tretch cannot stand up on a stage by himself singing hip hop hooray, waving his arms by himself.
He need Vinny.
You gotta have and the other little fella
Especially when he
that
got the
nobody
bat
know
in
his
his
name.
hand. You know, don't he have the bat? So when he got the bat in his hand,
Yeah.
he need to, Vinny and DJ K.
The sad thing is their
DJ
career
Khaled.
was way over before Twitter was even thought about.
So how you gonna tweet?
So how do you end up tweefing?
That's
And we
my
all
problem.
know that is a collabo between Beef and Twitter.
And
Yeah.
you know what? That's
It's-
my problem because
your
I feel
career
like
was-
Tretch is too old to be on Twitter talking about.
Tretch is too old to
Breaking up.
still have a bat in his hand. Tretch would be too old to still to have a
sorry.
chain around his neck. Tretch would be too old to really do that without live-in standbys to do the rest of the lyrics.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no
Pretty
way he
much.
can still rhyme that fast.
I'm agreeing with you today. 'Cause,
No.
where's your relevance? When the last time you had a
Do you
hit?
still have the muscles?
Yeah, man.
I
Damn,
don't know.
please don't
Good
take
question.
your shirt off. And
Wow.
Where
tighten
is
up
it?
that hairline and all the other things you need to do.
Well,
but
Looking like Rick Ross's cousin now if that thing done lapsed over. You know what I'm saying? If that thing done lapsed. You know what I'm talking about? 'Cause
It's
there's-
gonna get him a
sad
rap.
day in hip-hop,
Yeah.
y'all.
You're not
It's
getting
a
that. You're not getting that
sad
good
day.
gym money.
I'm just gonna say, Naughty by Nature is a group thing. Tretch can't do it by himself. Vinny can't do it by himself. I need y'all to make up
In
and
all
kiss and
honesty,
make up.
Tretch
Kiss
has
and
been
make
doing that by itself for a long time. Go ahead and all right. Give me that hot Vinny line.
No, he don't have to have a line. But again, all I'm gonna say,
Vinny's like Memphis Bleak.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
he's important.
At least
No,
He's
Memphis
important.
Bleak
He
done
got a
had
song or
had
two.
a song or two.
Vinny's
song or two.
important.
Okay, you know who Vinny's like? Vinny's like the rest of the guys with Busta Rhymes. You know,
Boom.
Busta and them.
There you go. Split
What was
star.
the name of that
And the
group?
other guys on Black Eyed Peas. It
Quit
was
playing.
Will I Am,
And the rest
Fergie,
of the
and the other
guys.
guys.
And that
The
guy.
guy with the long hair.
Yeah,
The Filipino
agree.
guy.
I agree.
That's what he always
the
got.
Filipino
guy.
guy. Wow.
You know one.
I got you.
That's in them. All right. So that concludes the check-in. Now it's time to go to the what the what. And this is the time of the show where we talk about stories that make you just say, what the what? Yeah. And we're going to start off with an inmate in L.A. that was accidentally released due to a clerical error.
Nice.
Johnny Matter was 32. He was released in downtown Los Angeles on April 4th after he was charged with a 2010 gang murder. Matter was arrested on May 25th, and the El Monte Police Department, what happened was there was a mix-up, and it was a clerical error, and they did not put a hold on this inmate, so they let him go.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. He got lucky.
Bless his little criminal heart.
That's when you say, my prayers was answered. Thank you, Lord.
Oh, yeah, that's that moment.
Yes.
That the police officer didn't ask for insurance information.
Yes.
I got my license and registration right here, sir. Don't ask for that insurance, though.
It's a little lapse. It's lapsed.
They told me if I got it to them on the 15th, everything was going to be all right.
But the day is the 12th.
That's just one of those banana stories. So speaking of being let out, and no pun, well, actually pun intended, authorities discovered 3 women who have been abducted for the last 10 years. I have to say abducted. I know they use the word kidnap, but just kidnapping adults just to me sounds crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're like 30, like, I've been kidnapped.
Snatched up.
Yeah, you were abducted or something. Okay. So the lady was found alive. And have you seen the Joker who was on the TV that actually helped get them out?
No.
My man with the perm.
The man with the perm.
The man with the perm and the baseball cap. But for real, we got to send our show. They had interviewed him on the news.
Of course.
On the news, and they asked him about the reward. Should there be a reward? And his statement back was, if there is a reward, you should give it to them. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I thought that was deep.
Well,
nice.
he said that he wasn't a hero. And what happened was he and another man ended up kicking the door down. But the funny thing, let's go a little deeper into this. Okay, so there was 3 women found plus a 6-year-old girl, which now they're finding out is a daughter of one of the captives. So that means she had baby while she was captive, which they're also saying there were other babies born. We don't know what happened to them. So for the past 10 years, these 3 brothers was having a sexathon going on up in there?
Definitely. They did not snatch them up to feed them and hold on to them and love them.
Love them
you know what I'm saying? They like they were no one wants stray children. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you know what I'm
Jesus.
saying? Like, was that baby stray? Is she stray? Let me snatch her up and feed her and love her. No. It was something sick and twisted in that house.
Definitely.
Listen,
and I mean, those stories
I wouldn't even eat
crazy.
cereal there.
I'm trying to understand this story all the way. So y'all took these women to
Girls.
do. Oh, they were girls.
They were
like
23,
14, 17, and like 20 when they were snatched.
They were 13 and 14 years old when they got
Okay, so
snatched
now
up.
y'all took these girls to what? Molest them?
Definitely.
And then you molested them, and not only did you take them all at one time? Is that how this worked, or did y'all over a period of
It
years
was a
snatch
period,
them up?
like I say a year.
I got
Yeah.
one other question.
But-
So y'all
Over
were
a year they
having
snatched
You know what?
Three.
And this is the sick
Yeah.
part of it that just came into my mind. They made sure they had 1 per brother.
Yeah.
It was 3 brothers.
Yeah.
3 young ladies
3.
got snatched up.
That's
I'm very
disgusting.
So
confused. How did y'all birth babies in this house and everything? Who
I mean,
adopted?
same way they
Somebody
used-
adopted?
They did the same way they used to do in Little House on the Prairie. They didn't need no real doctors
Birth
for
is
that,
going-
man. Boil the water, get the rags, get
Hey.
popping.
Birth
But
is
now
one of those things
neighbors, now
that's
this
gonna
is where the
happen.
police are going to get yolk on their face. Neighbors are saying that they have made reports about strange thing going on in the house. One neighbor says she called and said she saw a naked woman on a leash being walked by a man in the backyard. And then another neighbor said that he saw a woman beating on the window holding a baby at one point in time. There were definitely restraints in there. The police did confirm that. He was being very sketchy on the news. He wasn't trying to give a lot of information, you know what I'm saying? But it was definitely some strange
My
occurrences
thing is
going
this
on
here.
up in that household.
How bad is the crime in Cleveland as to where a white woman is in the yard on a leash and gets ignored?
And she naked.
Could you imagine that happening?
No.
Could you imagine
no.
that happening downtown
No,
Columbia,
no,
South Carolina?
No.
It would be a cat team, a bat team, the rat team, a dog team. A white woman in the yard on a leash.
Oh my God.
Father, help us all.
Father, save the nation.
Father, oh God, no. It would be
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm
No.
very confused. Do they have a relative or the police department? That's my question.
I don't know.
What
They
happened to the
Castros, I
report?
don't know.
Got to be Castro. I don't.
But
I don't want
I don't know.
they in El Monte sound like everybody in there might be a Castro.
Might be a Castro.
Wow.
Y'all are
This is
so
one of those
crazy.
wow moments.
Just make sure y'all are logging on to IHateHerOnline.com, following up all the stories, your comments, and always you can send us emails at IHateHerOnline@gmail.com, and you can address anybody here. So now we're gonna get into one of my favorite moments, which is called the mommy moment. Here's a question. There was a study. TodayMom.com did a survey with over 7,000 moms, and the question was, what is the most stressful number of children?
1.
I say the same thing. 1, you don't know what you're doing when you have that first one. After you learn a little bit about it now, you can keep on moving, but I think you should stop at 4 because they're going to drive you crazy.
So y'all say 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
According to the study, it is 3.
Wow.
I have exactly 3 children.
Yeah,
Me
I thought this
I
would
have
be interesting for the
exactly
both
3.
of you. And I'm going to tell you what they said. They said 3 is when you have 1 and you get into 2, you're getting to the groove of parenthood. Then when you get into 3, like mothers were saying, that's when you start realizing I don't even have enough hands to hold everybody's hands. But they said by 4, you're just balanced out at that point. And then kids start having playmates. They start matching up. So 3 is the number that the survey came up with.
Well,
So I'm stopping.
I see what you're saying on enough hands. Because I see my wife sometimes, she is going crazy, doing stuff that she need to send the kids to do anyway.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing.
I like 3.
What? I put you to work. I got a babysitter. I got a car washer because he's just short enough to wash rims.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You just tall enough to wipe down some rims. You can wipe down bottom cabinets. The beds are so high. Clothes are on the floor. You supposed to pick them up. I
Yeah.
have to bend over.
Yeah.
That's not fair to me.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be on me.
I'm not mad at you seeing as y'all put that there anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
I
I'm
feed
down.
you, and you eat good around
Yeah.
these parts.
I pay your rent.
You know what I'm saying?
You got lights. You got cable.
You got flies. You know what I'm saying? You got Nike flights. There are Chuck Taylors in assorted colors.
Yeah.
All colors.
All colors.
So I'm just saying, go do something.
I have one that just does polo.
Wow.
Oh,
Doesn't
nice.
have a job,
But
Really?
only
But
does
can
polo.
He
do
just does polo.
polo.
Yeah.
That's just,
Word. Word.
I'm not wearing nothing unless
Wow.
it say polo on.
Hello.
The only sneakers
Never
on my feet
met.
is
I've
J's.
never met Ralph Lauren, but
Don't
I've
know.
helped put his kids through college.
You
Yeah,
probably have.
absolutely.
Sir. At least bought him at least a
Yeah.
car.
You know,
Low car.
Well, other things the study found that makes mothers stressed out. Let's see what you guys think about it. 40% of moms say their husbands/partners cause them more stress than the kids do.
I can see that.
again, back. I see everybody turn around and look at
Uh-huh. You get on her nerves.
me. I'm gonna say it in a room full of women. Some of y'all stress is on yourselves.
We'll eat that, but what we saying is that y'all don't help.
Oh,
Men
why are
can
you
be-
so quiet?
Men,
'Cause
no,
I don't
no.
feel like talking.
No, y'all
Boom.
can be like an extra child.
Boom. I bet every dude just felt that. What do you want to eat? I got to be. It's whatever you want. But I'm asking you what you want. That's an argument right there.
Just say cheeseburgers,
Yeah,
man.
but-
When she asks you
but
what
you
the
know-
answer.
Just
Say
argument. Because
cheeseburgers.
let me tell you, when you have
I
want
wanna
to
go to bed not hungry.
Testify, ladies, okay? You have a man. You have to pick up his dirty clothes. You have to make sure he eats too. You have to figure out his meals, make sure
Did
his
you-
schedule is
y'all
good.
hear her put
That's
all of
another
that
child.
stress on herself? Did you just hear how she
'Cause
said
if you
she had to
don't-
make sure?
Because if you don't,
Look.
who's going to do it?
I've been married since I was 23. My age now is none of your business.
Absolutely.
But I was eating long before I met her. I could make a schedule of myself of my own activities
Okay, but
long
wait a minute.
before I met her.
Then why do y'all get married and act like y'all don't know how to do it no more? And then when your wife don't do it, you want to
Look here.
jump to her.
You don't open Pandora's box. There's a
Listen,
couple,
I'm
there's
opening it.
a, there's a
What's
couple
good?
things y'all forget too when y'all get married.
Listen, we not talking
What we
about us.
forget,
We
Nick?
talking about
what
y'all.
we forget? What you trying to say? What we forget?
My wife is going to be checking this out. I am
Okay.
not going to get into
There
this
you go.
discussion
Be
here.
quiet. At
today.
least you're a man that know
Okay.
how to shut up.
Hey, look
And
here. I will
that's
tell.
why
All
you've
right,
been
look
married
here.
this
And that's
long.
why you
I will.
so
This is
You know
my
how to
advice
shut
to
up.
any married man. You can either be right or you can be married.
Yeah, it's not. You can't be both.
You can't be both.
No, absolutely not. And
Now, she can still be right. You can do whatever you want to do, but at the end of the day, you let her know that she is right.
yes,
I'm not saying stop your goals, stop what you have going on. Don't let her stop you. But whenever the deed is done,
she's
she has
right.
still got to be right.
Yes, you're right.
They don't care about the goal. They care about being right.
Absolutely.
Now, this goes to what something you said was 72% of moms stress about how stressed they are. So like you said, stress is caused by stressing your own self out.
Look, the Creator gave us everything we need. It's the stuff we want that drives us crazy.
Yeah. Amen. 60% say it's a lack of time to do everything they need to get done. And then 60% of moms say raising girls are more stressful than raising boys.
I will agree.
I have all boys.
And I have one daughter and 2 sons. My daughter has been the worst. Boys ain't that easy either, but yeah, I agree with the mothers. Some girls is crazy. Yes, Lord.
Because I see where we do laundry and I see where we buy toilet tissue and them numbers don't add up.
Yeah.
The numbers aren't adding up.
Yeah.
All right, so I got to take a moment to shout out to our sponsors, Boutiques by Gochet, theprettylittlefrenchlady.com, exclusive shopping for the exquisite woman, and also liveshowbooking.com. We get it. And I am the main event, and you can advertise on I Hate Her on the radio. Send your contact information to IHateHerOnline@gmail.com. Also, make sure that you're logging on to IHateHerOnline.com on a regular basis. Make us your homepage. Love us. All right, let's get into the political hit list, which we're going to switch this up a little bit because of recent things that just popped off here in South Carolina. So we're going to start with that because Sanford, he done got him a new job.
He got it.
He got it.
Is he still in politics?
Yeah.
He just got his job back today.
He will be sitting on the Senate. Right? Correct?
Today.
Yeah.
He just got elected.
He will be back on the Senate. For those who don't know Sanford, I don't know how you can, because I was embarrassed. That was one of those that I was flying around. I was traveling, and everybody was like, where are you from? South Carolina. Oh, you're Governor Sanford. That's the Jack Pete who just went over there to South America and cheated on his wife and just shirked all his duties for 2 weeks. What do y'all think about that?
Wait, I got one thing to say. Y'all crucified Bill Clinton for getting his little thing sucked by Monica. This man went over there for 3 weeks, left everything.
Weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks.
And didn't answer his phone.
He got missing for 2 weeks. And y'all gonna give him another political job like it's okay? Bill can't even get nowhere close. He had to send Hillary to do some stuff. I'm trying to make me understand this.
Brown skin is awesome. Brown skin.
I'm gonna leave that alone, but I do want to say that I don't really understand South Carolina in the voting and what we vote for and what we don't. But I will say this: if we want to see a change in the state, we got to get a change in our politicians. So voting back in same old politicians, whether he's gonna be governor, senator, city councilman, I don't care what he is. I think that he needs to go because he's part of that old regime and it needs to go. Nikki Haley came in. I don't know what she was doing up in there. I mean, it's time. We need something new across the board in our politics in South Carolina.
I'll agree with that.
I do agree with that.
I'll agree with that.
It comes to a point where do you care more about position or the character of the person that? Yeah. I mean, you turn your back on. I don't want to speak on fidelity or infidelity for that. Can't speak on that.
Yeah. It is what it is.
But you left all us behind.
You can't shirk
your
responsibility.
You just showed me that just no matter what could have happened. There are any number of things that someone had to call the governor on.
For some hot tamales.
There you go. And you left us behind. He wanted them
hot and fresh.
Then
he went all the way there.
Brown skin.
Well, I'm not from here, and all I'm going to say is, I don't know about this good old boy state here. Y'all got here with these politics.
It's off the chain.
Yeah, man.
So on our political hit list today, let the gunshots ring out. Pop, 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 pop. We got the GOP. And I just had to talk about their new campaign of billboards stating GOP is the new black. And I looked at the billboard, and the first thought I came is, didn't it look like the cast of the game?
Yeah, man. It definitely looks like a reality
Jason
show
Pitts
cast
on there, and Tasha Mack was on there. You know, and then another one they had was Martin Luther King was a Republican. So I guess that's used to sway black people because, you know, if it was good for Martin, it was good for us.
My point on I don't really pick a side. As far if you say something that makes sense to me, I'm rolling with you.
Yeah, it's really about agenda.
It's really, if you say something, because you could be a Republican or a Democrat and still be just plumb dumb.
Period.
Point blank.
What was the dude that was running, the African-American dude that was running?
Green.
he was an idiot. And I'm sorry, I wouldn't care if he was a Republican
Yeah,
or a
the Johnny
Democrat.
It
He
wouldn't
was
have
an
made any
idiot.
difference.
Yes. So
That dude
I just need the Republican Party, like, we have to make a stand and let them know that we're not going to be just persuaded through colorful advertisement. They want to look at what Obama did, but Obama represented a change of
Across the
regime.
board.
You know what I'm saying? And not just because of his color, he was refreshing.
Right.
He was refreshing to hear something young and inspiring, and not, and it brought young people to politics. And that was one of the biggest things that Obama did. Not just black people, but young people. He actually put energy in the youth. They actually cared, and that's what it was going to take to get our country to turn around, because the youth, cliche, children are our future.
Yeah.
And if we don't get them energized and caring about what's going on, if they don't care, there's nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
So, I think that the campaign is insulting to the intelligence of black people, because just because you put us on a billboard doesn't mean that we need to just start doing what you do. Show us, appeal to what we need, and then you will get the black and Latino vote, because that's obviously what you want.
Yeah, they figured out that blacks and Latinos can win you elections. That's what that was about.
All right. So we're going to get into a little bit of a lighter side, Celebrity 101. And that's when we go after all our celebrities. But I definitely have to start with addressing the death of Chris Kelly, which is one half
God
of
bless
the
him.
group Criss Cross. He was Daddy Mac. He supposedly took a lethal combination of drugs that ended his life at 34. And I just want to say, because I'm not afraid of my age, that this really hit home, because he died one day after my actual birthday, and I turned 34. So when his story came out the next day after turning 34, it really hit home, because I was like, wow, like, you're young. Like, your life, like, I know my life is just getting started good. You know what I'm saying? So he's really lost a lot of life. And his mom did reveal that he was on cocaine and heroin at the time of his death. And the question I have, because we know what it is, his drug problem stemmed from being a tortured child star who never could really keep their fame. So my question to you guys is, would you rather have fame and have lost it and no one is like, or just never had fame at all?
I think I'd take fame and loss. It all depends on that comeback. Life is all about the comeback.
I will also say that it depends on what you were seeking out of this. Like, some people get into this because they want to get rich. Criss Cross made a little bit of money. Okay, so I'm saying, you wasn't satisfied with that. See, the greed of fame sometimes makes it bad.
Well,
this is why
we can't say,
because his house that he was still living in for the amount of time since he's been a rapper is a nice amount of time. And his house, he looked
probably
like
ain't paying no
somebody
taxes.
I mean,
kept his money up well.
Criss Cross was very large.
Yeah,
Yes.
so they made
They did a
lots of
tour
money.
with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get a tour with Michael Jackson, you're stacking some money.
Now,
They
I've
did
heard-
movies,
Yeah,
They have a
they had a
cartoon?
cartoon.
Yeah.
They
That
had
lasted
a lot
for a
of different
minute?
things going on. So my thing is, I just definitely feel like that. I personally like the regular life, because I watch these child stars just go bananas. It's not just him; it's a lot of them that can't deal with losing fame.
And I'm finna get it quiet. Lil Wayne is next.
Yeah, he's on the hit list.
He's on the. He's
Yeah.
well on
he's
his
on the
way.
hit
He's
list.
working his way. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's going
we
to do
said
it
that
while
last
he's
time.
still hot. He's
Yeah.
not going to wait to cool off.
Yeah, I already said I
He
thought
wanna
he
go in,
wants
I'm
to be
gonna
a
die
Pac or
while
a
I'm
Biggie.
gonna
Yeah.
say
I already
I'm hot.
decided he wanted
He
a
wants to
tragic
go out on
ending.
top.
I don't know why.
And not for nothing, I've heard from one hit wonders before, and some of them say it's the best it's the best position, because you get the fame and then you get to go back to be having a normal life.
And then
life.
sometimes we have to separate fame from fortune.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people never separate.
No.
You can be famous and still broke.
Yeah.
Amen, brother. Let's move on to Trey Songz, who actually got arrested recently for a strip club assault case. Prosecutors have dropped the case since, and they have decided they couldn't prove that the rapper smacked the woman in the face with cash during the album release party last August. The woman said that that the sum of United States currency was slapped in her face, causing substantial pain to her left eye.
Listen, I can tell you exactly what happened. I know exactly.
What happened?
Me
Let's
knowing
go.
strip
Let's
clubs the
go.
way I do.
Yeah. You're
The
familiar.
man was so busy putting back into the economy, because that's what we're doing. We're bouncing back the economy.
When you go to the strip club.
He was
Okay.
doing it so fast, he forgot to take his rubber band off the money. Now, things happen.
Yeah.
People
Bands make
slip.
a dance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strippers get hit in the head with money. A fish has got to swim. Birds are going to eat. What she should have, you just gotta keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Just keep
swimming.
Yes.
What do? We swim.
Yeah. I just personally feel
She
like
was
they
supposed
can't
to-
be friends. That's it. They just can't be friends.
You know, I get to the point where I just feel like you're in a strip club and you got slapped in your face with something. And there's a lot of things worse you can get slapped in your face with in a strip club than a wad of money.
Yeah.
There are
That's
a lot
all
of
I'm
things.
just
I
saying.
thought that's why y'all was
I'm
in the
just
strip
saying,
club.
you know.
To get smacked with money.
Well, they determined that they couldn't prove that he did anything illegal. They said it's not clear if it was a case of misconduct or just high level of recklessness. Brother can't even make it rain no more.
Nope.
Without it be calling misconduct.
You know, the worst part is you could have a customer like me.
And what
I
would
give
you
out
have
nothing but dreams at the strip club.
Oh, nice.
Baby, you gonna be somebody.
Girl, I like how you work on them calf muscles.
And I have to say this to my New Yorker. I have to say, because this was a club in Queens, that I say this would never happen down south. Because
No.
down south strippers respect the cash flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus
I have to say that down south strippers have a lot more respect for getting slapped in the face with a wad of money.
I don't think that would have.
And plus,
think that would've
self-esteem
happened
is
down
not
here.
that high down
yeah,
here.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it really
She
is.
had too much self-esteem.
Yeah.
That's what, you know what I'm
Walking
saying? At the
around
end of the
club
day,
naked with all her goodies hanging out, and she got
you
self-esteem.
got a little bit too much self-esteem.
Oh,
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh God.
But that's
stripper-
because that's because y'all let y'all strippers have bullet holes and they could be
Hey, look
300
here.
pounds.
Long
I'm
as
just
she can
saying.
twerk
Look,
it.
look.
Long as she can twerk
I've
it.
had a stripper with one leg.
You know what? I'm gonna need you to stop that.
I
What
couldn't.
she do? Hop on the pole?
She did. She did.
Get
and
it.
she
Oh, I've
twirled it.
seen her.
See?
Her name Little Mama.
What? A little something.
Yeah, it's
You
Little
know what?
Mama.
It
And
should've-
she has a prosthetic
it
leg.
should've been a
no
little
real
twisted.
talk. And it's so
I'm gonna need
cute
y'all to stop.
because she puts a shoe on it too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need y'all to stop.
I'm not making it up. You can Google her. I am not making that up. Y'all
Matter
know
of
what I'm
fact-
talking about. I've seen her.
She
Shake
just,
it,
she just
tail
hangs the
feather.
leg from the pole and
You
does
know
her
what?
act.
Don't do that.
I've
Don't
seen
give
her.
people those
And can
visuals.
work
She,
the pole.
she just hangs it.
She nice.
She
What she
hangs
do?
it.
Hop up there and grab
Listen,
it?
don't worry. Don't.
Well, how she slide down upside
That
down?
one leg
How does
is
that work out with
muscular.
one leg?
That one leg is
Y'all
hit.
wrong for that. Y'all wrong for that.
I'm finna let you know
Y'all-
that thing glistens and
You know what?
shines.
You know what? You
Do you know
I'm
how much
praying for
money
you.
she saves on cocoa butter?
You know
when
what?
you only have to do one leg?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You right. I'm gonna let you rock with that one.
One spritz.
Hey, Joe. We about to, moving on from strip clubs, Celebrity 101, we're going to talk about TMZ has obtained legal documents filed by a guy named Wade Robson. He's asking money for the Michael Jackson estate for childhood sexual abuse. He's 30 now. He's worked with all kind of pop stars, Britney Spears, NSYNC, Usher, Pink. He's done all these things. He met Michael Jackson when he was 5. They developed a friendship, which I don't understand because my son is 5 and my 5-year-old can't have friendships with grown men. All right. And it lasted for years. By 7, he was having sleepovers at the Neverland Ranch. And by 14, he actually was testified in Michael Jackson molestation trials. He denied that Michael Jackson ever molested him. Now he's grown and now he's saying, yes, it did happen. And just to add this little tidbit, the maid testified that she witnessed them two showering.
Just a little
But
shower.
at that time, the boy had said that nothing was going on.
No, ain't
so
nothing happening in the shower with a grown man. Psst, that happens all the
Just a
time.
little shower.
It's a little shower. Everybody got to get clean.
Okay. And Michael didn't have enough showers at
No.
the Neverland Ranch. There's no
There
way
was-
he had one.
There were special Sandusky showers.
Sandusky. Good old Sandusky.
Dusky showers that
showers.
had to be used. And, I mean, and we're talking about him not wanting to confess. Do you know the kind of goons Michael Jackson would have?
Who he gonna send, Bubbles?
He could send a gorilla to your house.
Oh, Lord.
He could send a, what? This
Now-
man just so happened to have a gorilla on standby. Who wants
Stop
to mess
it.
with the, nobody even want to beef with the guy with the pit bulls down the street. Could you imagine
You know
somebody
what?
who has a gorilla and a chimpanzee
Oh,
on
Jesus.
standby?
You know
Listen.
what? A gorilla and a chimpanzee?
Hey,
On
but you know
stand.
what?
You saw Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
One gorilla can turn the world.
Yeah, he can.
I would
He
be
got together
mindful.
faster than the Panthers.
I just need to understand.
Could you imagine a monkey with an attitude just going in? Y'all saw the movie. This man built up a whole unit.
Bobo, get him, Bobo.
What?
Man, bubbles come
Get 'em,
jumping through your
get 'em.
bedroom. We're
Yeah.
gonna choke you out right
Okay.
quick. And you a note from Michael Jackson.
Or like the evil monkey on Family Guy.
Hello.
You know what?
Who want to beef with that?
You know, oh gosh, y'all look so crazy. But the question I always have is, why were parents just turning over their children to Michael Jackson like left and right?
There's one word that can sum that up, and it's called currency.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. It's all about the paper.
Bands will make you dance.
I'm just trying to understand, what kind of parent are you that you sell your children off to a man that you know is molesting children?
You have a lack of love and a strong, healthy relationship with money.
Sounds logical. Okay.
I mean, really. You around here eating all this bologna, you better come up with something. You better come up with something.
Yeah, I guess they get.
You better
Guess
go
he had to
twerk for
work
Michael
for his
Jackson.
meals.
But
Yeah.
you know what? I bet we've never heard of a Maurice or a little tank from
But
down
you
the
know
street
what?
going to Never.
Little man.
Yeah,
better
man,
swole Michael
none of
Jackson
them.
high up.
Peanut, none of them ever
That's
get to
what
go
the
to
problem
Neverland
is.
Ranch.
I'm gonna tell you why.
All
'cause
of
they was
those children in Gary,
Baby
Indiana, in the
kids.
neighborhood where he's from,
Did not
and he
go.
knows a little taste of poverty. He had a pet rat, for God's sake.
Yes, he did.
So
Big-
you can go
Jackson
pick up
been
all
weird
of
from
those
day
little
one.
children from Gary, Indiana. Why they never get a chance to go to Neverland Ranch?
Because African American parents is not sending their children to Michael Jackson's Never
They
Neverland.
would have sent them
We
knowing.
should, though.
They would have known. They would have went.
We
You know.
should.
Yeah.
They get a little extra. You know what? I got something for you. I'm gonna send you to
Neverland. Straight to
Neverland.
Neverland.
I'm gonna send you to Michael Jackson. Let Bubble squeeze you up a little bit.
Nah, but they're not having it because why? They speak English.
Yeah,
None of these children really spoke any good
Oh.
English.
yeah.
I'm just sorry. I just keep going back to the fact that my 5-year-old does not strike up friendships with grown men.
That was
Okay?
always my issue.
That-
Why is the
like,
only friends
not
this man
friendships.
have
You
is
could tell me
animals and
that-
kids?
Yeah, you could tell me that he's going to mentor my child, but you cannot tell me that's my child's homeboy.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't even want him to mentor my child.
No, not
Can we
Michael
send him to
Jackson.
Joe Jackson's house instead?
Yeah,
Because we
Joe-
know
Joe
he
gonna
puts
get him in
out some
line.
stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know that he has star-making capabilities.
Send him to Joe. Joe
He
can
had-
do a boot camp.
like
That's
a-
a new reality show. You better hit
Joe
Joe up and get
Jackson's
your rights
boot
for
camp.
it.
Yeah,
If
get it.
Let's
Joe
go
if
make
Joe had a
stars.
hand in spades, he said, "I got 2 definites and some
Hey,
possibles."
you
Yeah.
put.
You understand what I'm saying? Because we all know Jermaine could have possibly made it.
He could
Yeah.
have possibly did.
He
it.
made-
He wanted to
Latoya,
get married
possibly.
to them.
Yeah.
But we know we had definites.
Yeah.
It was 2 definite books with Michael and Janet.
You
Yeah.
know what I'd like to see go head to head on rearing or training children? Joe Jackson and Abby
rearing.
Miller.
Wow.
I would not let Joe Jackson rear my child.
But look, you know, are you
Dance
familiar with Abby
moms
Miller from Dance Mom?
extraordinaire.
Take
Yes.
Abby Miller versus Joe Jackson
Yeah.
and have them each have their own little squad and see who wins because they both are
And
hell on
sprinkle
Yeah,
in
they
Honey
are.
Boo Boo's mama.
June.
Just a little bit. Just
Honey
put a
Boo
little
Boo.
bit of Honey Boo
June
Boo's
is
mama
too
out
cool.
there.
June is too
Yeah,
cool.
she real laid
Ooh,
back.
that's like-
Yeah, we
June,
need
June.
ratchet parents.
But I'm saying, you
kind that
know,
abuse children and stuff.
you know. All right,
Matter of
y'all.
fact, you know what? Let's go back to Mountain Dew. They should let Honey Boo Boo do a Mountain Dew commercial.
Absolutely.
Come on,
Her
honey, boo
secret juice.
child. You better recognize.
Dollars make
Drink
her
Mountain
taller.
Dew. Yes.
All right, you know, that was time we're going to get into the Ask the V Squad. And today's letter comes from Always a Bridemaid, Never a Bride. Me and my son and daughter's father met when I was 23, and our son is 8 and daughter is 6. I'm 36 now, and he's about to be 40. We have a good relationship. I love our life, our home, and our family. There is one thing that I hate is that we are not married. Sometimes it's almost embarrassing introducing him as my boyfriend or my kid's father. I want to press the issue, but I don't want to push him. I want him asking me to be something he feels in his heart. We rarely talk about marriage, though. We share a bank account, own a home together, bought cars, etc. Should I be happy with the fact that I'm knowing that there are some women out here who don't even have a man, let alone one who cares and loves me like mine? Or should I make my feelings known, risking the fact that he may never ever want to get married?
You need to make your feelings known. You need to say something about what's going on in your house. For the simple fact you came outside to ask the advice of somebody else when you know you lay with this man every night.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ain't playing Monopoly. At the end of the
Heck
day,
no.
ain't no games really getting played.
Mhm.
Why you just tell him you want to be a wife? Tell him you'll settle for nothing less than being a wife.
You
Absolutely,
should
y'all.
have told him that after the first child. Because I'll give you the first one might slip out, on you. But
Yeah, that's what they do. They slip out.
Yeah, it might slip out on you.
That's exactly what children do.
You
Oh,
just
y'all
be
got
walking one
tequila
day,
babies?
whoop.
Tequila babies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tequila
but it
baby.
happens.
Yeah.
I don't want to pass judgment. That's why I'm saying that.
No,
it
it's fine.
happens. You might have just been having fun, nice, fun relationship. Bam, you find out you're pregnant. Shouldn't have had baby number 2 without putting something.
Wait a
down.
minute.
And y'all built a life.
I'm saying y'all got bank accounts, houses, cars, kids. Why not have the marriage?
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I just don't believe that men don't know that generally, unless you're with a woman who is just like, this is not what I ever want. There are some women out there, okay? So outside of those exceptions, I just don't believe that a man doesn't know. See, where the part that I feel what she's saying is to go to him and ask him about marriage defeats the dream that women have of that man going and asking you to marry him. For me to have to go to you and say to you, what you should know, I'm with you. I've shown you I'm a good woman. I'm building this life with you. I should not have to tell you to make me a legitimate woman so I can feel, because that's something that men don't necessarily have the same pressures as women. It's terrible. It's like when you have kids and you had to be like, your kids got different last names than you, and it's so obvious to society. As soon as you walk in, oh, she's not married. Her baby last name this. Her last name this. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I just think that a man knows. I just don't believe he doesn't.
We should show initiative, right? We should
Yes.
show it, but we don't.
Why?
Because we're not looking for that.
No
We're not
man
looking.
starts
No
out
man.
looking for
We're
that.
not looking for a marriage. When we come out, regardless of how long we, as we like to say, men, chilling out. No matter how long we're chilling out, we're not looking for marriage.
Okay, now on the flip side from the female, I'm sorry, sweetie. You better say something. If you don't, how does he know how you feel if you don't tell him? You just gonna keep going wrong. You gonna get to what, 15 years and you still
she
ain't
let
said
too
nothing?
much time go by. Point blank.
I'm
period.
saying you got a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. I don't know the 8-year-old. Somewhere about 7 years ago, you should have said something, and you should have said something once a year on your anniversary. So, baby, are we gonna make this legitimate the next year? So, baby, you had a baby, baby, right after labor, and you pushed the baby out. Okay, are we gonna make this legitimate yet?
Yeah.
You had all this time that you could say something, so you're just gonna let him keep going on and don't
Trust
say
me,
nothing?
when you have a baby at a wedlock in the hospital, they make sure you know. When they give that man, says he's gonna sign a birth certificate, they sit there for like 20 minutes. Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure you're
They
sure
try to almost
you're
talk
sure?
him out of it.
Are you sure
Yeah.
before you sign it?
That didn't happen to me because my kids came out as carbon copies.
Yeah.
So they just signed this boy. Take your big ass
No,
out there
that
and sit
baby
in
look
there.
just like
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Don't even say nothing. Don't say
Let's
nothing.
give Big Man some ice water and send him back out there because he's looking a little putrid. But sign this. Go ahead and sign this up right now.
Now, okay, on the sidebar, does it take how long do you think in general, just throwing out, does it take a man to know that he wants to marry this woman?
I'm writing a book currently, and everybody will be able to get it. It's Real Talks, Tips to Marriage. A man knows 3 years. 3 years. 900 and whatever other days that go along with that. Excuse me, District 2 education. But I don't do quick math. I'm an American.
Yeah, because you was off by the
There we go. Whatever amount of days go in those 3 years, a man knows within 3 years.
So you say 3 years.
3.
I think it's shorter than that.
And it's even if he now knowing
And being
and
ready.
showing that word that we used earlier is 2 different things.
Yeah.
Because we can know what to do, but sometimes women have to push. Y'all have to give us a little push.
Mm-hmm.
But like with that setting of the schedule, you said, sometimes y'all have to put that on us.
I think part of the reason that, and studies show that African American women are less married than any other race. And I think another problem with that is just culturally, because, and I'll be honest, when I think back to growing up, I think about all the things my parents laid out in front of me, and I had good parents, you know what I'm saying? I just don't remember them ever stressing, like, this is what you need to get married. It was not a stress focal point. It was, get your education, do
think
that,
that children do
Other
what they
cultures,
see.
they do. Other cultures stress that. They make that those women go to college looking for a husband.
Mm-hmm.
We go to college so we can get good jobs.
Great.
Them other women, lighter than us, they go to college looking for husbands.
And plus, there is a general misconception of black women.
And what's that?
If you
Tread
watch
lightly.
television,
Tread lightly.
there is a the brash, outspoken,
For sure.
vocal,
For sure.
strong-willed.
Well, baby, let me just say this.
Go ahead.
Women are that way. Excuse me. African American women are that way because, I'm sorry, something happened to the African American family where the woman had to step up and be strong. So how is she going to be strong raising sons if she's not a little bit brash? Because you can't say, hey, baby, go take out that trash. That doesn't work because I do that. I'll say it 5 times. Hey, you going to go take out the trash? Then it gets to, get up and take out trash. You see what I mean?
I
So
see you.
we
Look,
have to
I
be a
feel
little
you.
harder. And unfortunately, it's made it hard for a lot of African American women to differentiate having a personal relationship with their family relationship. So they just carry that demeanor everywhere they go.
I mean, and I get it. But the other thing is, I think that also women, especially African American women, we have been put in a position of being so independent that we don't know how to
There's that
deal
word
with
I was
men.
looking for.
We don't know how to deal with men because we're okay. Let's say this being stereotypical. We're used to the disappointment, so it's like you go into it expecting the disappointment. And another thing is when you say about the brassness, you got to let a man be a man. You can't verbally beat your man down constantly and expect him to do right. You know, it's just like if your parents did it to you constantly. You're not going to do right over time. That's not going to work. You can't berate somebody and expect you're going to get a positive result over and over again. And that's just being introspective as a woman, that's a hard thing for a woman to break because you're used to saying, listen, you don't have to do nothing for me.
Exactly.
At the end of the day,
Okay.
you can keep on pushing
And I
because I
feel
was
you.
doing this before you and I'm going to do it after you.
Like you ate before your wife?
Pretty much.
Or it's the
But-
same thing.
All right. As the only one of 2 males in this room, and when I say this, you can look over at him and he'll validate my point. A man has to feel needed.
Yes.
That's a true statement.
If you don't feel like you're needed to be there, why be there? And you can still do everything in the book, but okay, I am not going to sign a contract that's not before me.
I got you.
I get it.
And like I say, most guys, they don't even know how to communicate with what they have at home. So sometimes they feel like they don't know what to do.
And
And as far as you're at a loss for words.
Yeah, I think it
sometimes.
plateaus at some point and you don't know what to do at that point. So now you have to look outside to try to find
And
other
plus-
things going on.
Black women are taught to be strong
Yeah.
Yes.
and independent.
Yeah.
And sometimes that gets in the way.
It does.
Sometimes independence can get in the way because you're not independent. We're a unit. Teamwork can make a
Yeah.
dream work.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. I mean, but I would tell you, it is a lot for a woman when you've been doing it on your
feel
own
you.
for so long, and especially if you've been doing it. And when you say on your own, go far back to the fact that mom was doing it on her own
was
too.
doing it.
So you feel like you've been doing it without men for so long that when this man does come, you have to. And women, y'all don't like the word, humble yourself. You have to step
The
back.
word
and let
that
the
you're
man
looking
do
for
what
is
he gotta
in
do.
some cases, women, you have to submit.
And
That's a strong one
you know
right
what?
there.
Our pastor gave a good example of submit. When you're in the army, you walk behind your general, your leader, and you have a gun. You submit. That doesn't mean that you couldn't take that gun and point him at that same person and
shoot
you
him in
can
the back.
shoot them. But submission does not mean weakness all the time.
Right.
And that's where there's a lot of
think that
misconception that
submission
comes in.
In marriage is being able to share.
Surrender does not mean
it's hard.
defeat.
Yeah, that's the problem. You have to surrender sometime, and it doesn't mean that you're a weak person or you're less
Like
of a person.
I've been
but,
married.
You know, it happens.
For going on 10 years now. And like I said in the beginning, you can either be right or you can be married. My wife has never been wrong, no matter what I've done.
Wow. Well, that was Ask the B Squad. If you have a question or comment, you can always hit us up at IHateHerOnline.com or you can send an email to IHateHerOnline@gmail.com. I want to shout out to our sponsors, Boutiques by GOCHETT, PrettyLittleFrenchLady.com, also LiveShowBookings.com. I am the main event. You can advertise on I Hate Her on the radio. You can send your contact information to IHateHerOnline@gmail.com. Also, make sure you're logging on to IHateHerOnline.com on a regular basis, okay? Now, So before we get to the out, I just wanted to get a chance to give a little bit more information on our guest that came in today, Mr. Real Talk.
Hello.
Y'all, some people, I've known this brother for many moons.
Yeah, she couldn't talk to me in school because I was in special classes.
Oh, Lord, not special ed.
Special.
Did you ride the short bus?
What? Lick in the window. Back left seat was mine. We brought speakers. Speakers, yes, and a helmet.
Well, I really enjoyed you today. Give a little background of some things you might be doing and how people can get in touch with you online, how they can follow you, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff.
You can find me on Twitter via Fat Cat Live. Until I get me another address, you can always find me on Facebook. That'll be under Nikki Dynamite, Real Talk, Comedian Real Talk. We have other dates coming up where we're trying to unify, get some things going on at the Comedy House and different things of that nature.
This brother is hilarious, and it's been funny as long as I've known.
Oh, God, my side is hurting.
Was any last words, anything you would like to say to the people that's listening,
Tell Venom you want me back. Regularly.
We're definitely working on that.
Yeah.
We're gonna definitely work on that. Miss V?
He was a great male point of view for us today.
Yeah.
Funny, and you're a pretty smart fella.
Pretty.
You're pretty smart.
I
I
already
already
on
knew.
Facebook, if you follow him, he don't hold his tongue.
I knew when you said your wife wins everything.
Wins
That
every
you a
argument.
smart man. That's the way to live. That's how you
Exactly.
stay married.
That's how you
get
stay
married, and
married.
how you stay married is your wife is right.
Always
Good
handle
man.
your business, but
And-
your wife is right.
Yeah.
That's your wife is. That
You
sounds
need to
like a
stop them
good
strip
T-shirt
clubs,
right
though.
there. Oh,
My wife is with me, but that's another show.
that's a whole nother show.
Okay.
Tosh, I just want to definitely shout Miss Tosh out today. She graduated from Benedict College. I know you may have some shout outs. You got people in town. Come on over step on to the mic. 'Cause I know you got something you want to say. Into the mic, all the way into the mic.
What to say? I want to shout out my mommy. She's my biggest fan, my biggest supporter. I love her. And my dad, my family for coming out from Jersey, Mexico, wherever they came from.
Gosh, you got Mexican family members?
Mexico.
I wish I had
about
Mexican
to
family.
say,
I wish
that's
I had
a
a
whole
cousin
nother
named Pedro
story.
Jose, but that's a different story.
Got a phone named Rico.
Yeah, I do have a phone named Rico, but we're going to leave Rico alone right now, okay, you guys? Leave Rico where Rico is.
Well, that's what's up, man. Congratulations. And she's a hardworking girl because who goes to graduation and still comes into work?
That's what I'm talking about.
With
That's
all A's. She
hardworking.
graduated with all A's.
All right, y'all. Okay, it's the time for the out. This is the part of the show when I'm supposed to say something enlightening. Well, here it goes. Guerrero versus Mayweather. This fight represented something bigger than just another boxing match to me. As much as a Mayweather fan that I am, and I still am, but for a few moments, I saw that battle for what it was, good versus evil. See, these two opponents couldn't have been more different. You have Guerrero, a family man. He's a southpaw, a man of God who professes his love and commitment to God and his family. I mean, he gave up his title to stay at home and nurse his sick wife back to health. Then you have Mayweather, a champion, undefeated, who is overconfident, worships money. He did time for domestic violence. He has a terrible track record with women. But despite their personal issues, I saw this battle for the world. And sometimes when you fight the good fight, you still lose. But if you're fighting God's fight, man's loss means nothing at all. In God's law, things men value like money, power, fame, wins, records, they mean absolutely nothing. So if you continue to judge yourself with the values and standards that man has made, then you'll always feel inadequate, unloved, and maybe even a failure at times. Though Guerrero lost the fight, he made people stop and think, could we really see a 2013 David and Goliath? How inspiring would it have been to see a man of God take down a giant? So since he lost, does that weaken your belief? Have you ever noticed how quickly people grab on to things to not believe? If that's how you think and saw things the other night, then maybe you should take off your man-made glasses and look again. See, the devil has dominion on earth. He's strong, but he's not as powerful as God. The devil can only be in one place at one time, but God is everywhere. He sees everything. And yes, maybe Mayweather needed to be humbled, but in God's time. Just like all other evils on the earth, they will all one day bow down on one knee and confess. But until then, the battle of good versus evil will always exist. Because what is darkness without light? What is truth without lies? So as you go about your week, continue to fight the good fight. Stand up for what you believe in. And no, you may not win. Man's win. You may not prosper. Man's way. Sometimes that loss may have just saved your soul. Just think, you could have been the childhood rapper, star rapper who died at 34, or an immaculate singer whose life was chopped down at 50, or a pop star that by the age of 5 was so lonely and lost that you ended your own life way too soon. But to man's standards, people like Chris Kelly, Whitney Houston, and Michael Jackson, they were all winning, and they won. So let their lives be a witness of what kind of finish line man's version of winning really is. So till next week, this is I Hate Her on the radio. Y'all say y'all sayonara.
Sayonara.
Bye, man. See y'all next week.
And don't forget to log on to IHateHerOnline.com and send all your comments to IHateHerOnline@gmail.com and comment good, bad, ugly, whatever. Get your rant and rave on. I got you, all right? As always, trust God and bye-bye for now.